This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, so my name is Christina. I'm from Macedonia, and I did my undergrad in chemical engineering.
Okay.
And I'm Sakib. I just graduated with degree with information systems.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sophie, and I'm a recent graduate of St. Cloud State University with Information Systems and Hospitality Management.
All right. Perfect. So why do you want to join BA sessions? Business analysis. Why do you want to learn it? Hello.
Hello?
Audible?
Yeah.
Yep. Why are you looking for business analysis training? What is the motive behind that?
I would like to expand my knowledge. I don't want to have only experience in chemical engineering, and so that's why I joined this training program.
And
Okay.
I would say I have like knowledge of like business analyst and skills, but I don't have like experience. So I just want to like gain like hands-on experience and more knowledge and more skills like to get in this field.
Okay. How about you, Sui?
Yeah, pretty much what other people said. I do have experience and knowledge that I have gained in class, but utilizing those skills and experience and applying to business, that's something that I'm looking for out of this training.
Okay. That's nice. Fine. Anyway, welcome, guys. So let me introduce about myself. So I'm Dilip Kumar. I have been in IT industry for 14 years now. And then, yeah, I have been taking up these sessions for around 7 years now.
Hmm?
So, intention of these trainings is to bridge the gap between what we learn and then what we are actually implementing.
Okay.
Right? So there is a difference between what we are learning and then through our subjects, whatever it might be, and what we are implementing, how we are implementing. So I just want to bridge that gap between both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and again, practically how the thing should be, right? Because there is a difference between subject and the practical implementation of it. So we'll be learning through practical way how it is actually going to be.
Okay.
I do offer multiple trainings like business analysis, Scrum Master, Scrum Certified Product Owner. So I'm a CSP OCSM. I completed the certifications. And then personality development, I'm authorized the certified trainer, yoga instructor as well. So I do take care of personality development, yoga training, and all that. Also interview preparation. Here I'm associated with you on the training part, right?
Okay.
Right. So this is about it. So any questions you have?
No?
All right. So let me quickly take you through the syllabus that we are going to learn at high level.
Okay.
So this is IT business analysis. That is to develop a software. How business analysts should help the team. That will be the primary focus here. All right. So have you ever heard about Agile and Scrum, all this stuff?
Yep, I've heard of Agile and Scrum.
Right. So previously it used to be waterfall model, which was very popular methodology to develop the software. We call it as software development lifecycle or methodologies. Now, in recent past, somewhere around 6 to 7 years onwards, it's been Scrum, which is dominating everywhere. So around the world, somewhere around 60 to 70% of the projects, IT and non-IT, including everything, all those projects are conducted in Scrum-based approach. They are following Scrum framework. So it's obvious that as a BA, we should be knowing what is that Scrum and how we are supposed to work there in that particular environment. In the waterfall environment related development activities have gone down. Almost they have become zero. Still they are there, very less percentage, but that doesn't help much if we learn that now. So we'll be learning about Agile and Scrum framework. So first we'll understand the environment, what we are going to, where we are going to working, and then we'll understand about business analyst concepts.
Okay.
Irrespective of development methodology, you have to do certain activities like identifying the requirements, eliciting them, modeling them, and also managing the changes, etc. So how to handle all of that, we'll be learning here. And in Scrum, what is the role of business analyst? How can we contribute at different stages? Right? Like creating the stories. What is the story? How to create? Why to create? When to create? All this stuff. How to prioritize them? How to refine the backlogs? So what is the backlog, etc. Right? We'll be understanding all of them. And also release planning. So it's something like which functionalities we would like to deploy.
Okay.
We would like to deploy when we can be part of that kind of decision making. We call it as release planning. Will be there as well. How can we support the testing team? How can we support the developers during the development activities? So all this stuff from practical point of view, we'll be learning all of them. And also Scrum is meant for developing the application. So outside Scrum, what are all the things we can do? That will also be, we'll be learning here. Any questions so far?
No. While you teach, can we just take like screenshot as well as fine, right?
That's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll be getting the recording. So needless to stream that also.
Okay.
Right. And then, so as a business analyst, we are supposed to contribute at different levels of any project. So maybe from the beginning till end, there will be various occasions you might have to involve yourself. So conducting as a study and to be state proposals, working with the process maps, proposing the solution, evaluating the solutions, and also adding value to business. How can we help the business to improve it? So all this stuff we'll be discussing here on various occasions.
I have a quick question.
Yes, please.
So what is the big difference between Agile and Scrum? What would you say what's the big differences between them?
You can say Agile is the umbrella, and then below that, Scrum is one methodology.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Agile is the umbrella,
Okay.
and then under that umbrella, Scrum is one such kind of methodology.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right?
Okay,
It's like coffee and different flavors of coffee. Coffee is
Okay.
your Agile. Flavors are your Scrum. There are
Okay.
many other methodologies as well under Agile.
Okay.
Right? Now comes your hands-on practice as well here. So we'll have a couple of case studies here to be practiced by you and completed and submitted. Here it's not like guide, like the question and answer kind of an approach, where I'll be asking you to, I'll be sharing the questionnaire with you. You are supposed to answer them. If you are unable to answer them, then I'll be sharing a guide with you so that you can read through the answers. It's not that way. You have to practice by yourself to learn the subject. Intention is to teach you. You have to yourself expected to learn. Okay, so I'm not interested in vomiting something which I learned 14 years ago. Right, I want to teach you something which can help you. So it's depends on you how much you practice.
Yep.
So practice will be there. There are many things we'll be practicing as well. Right. So creating the requirement types and requirements, and I will be practicing the sessions as well. During the sessions also I'll be involving you so that you people can also go through it. Right.
Yep.
So small practices like very small tasks to very big practices like the case studies, everything will be available for you. Only thing required is you should have time. You have to take out some time.
Okay.
Challenge here with the every learner would be initially everyone will be interested. So people will also start asking, okay, why can't you share something we want to practice? Once I start giving you the work, Then we'll start saying, can I submit next week? I couldn't able to complete it this week. Okay, it ends up like that only. Just ends up without completing it. Okay, so that will be the biggest challenge. So I can understand there will be different priorities for everyone. Now it's time for you to decide a little bit, give more priority to this one, and then try to sort remaining things, because the training will last for hardly 5 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So 5 to 6 weeks, you should be able to complete it. So we have to practice. We have to take out time. Whether you take out, come up with an excuse or completion of the task, that all depends on you. Okay, so I'll be encouraging you because I'm a personal development trainer as well. I keep on motivating you, right? I keep on hinting you, prompting you. It depends on you, right? There'll be a lot of things to do, right? Now comes what is the value addition that you can gain from the trainings. So since there are a number of resources available, and then there are many, many resources available online for free, then what is the advantage that you are going to get out of my trainings? Why should you reach me out from training perspective? Basically, I'm not a hard. I'm a working professional who is taking up these sessions out of passion to teach, right? So whatever I teach, I'll be taking the references from practical life, real life, from my previous projects. Okay, I was heading 40 business analysts as a center of excellence, as a part of center of excellence of business analysis practices. So I had an opportunity to interact with most of our BA people to understand what are all the challenges they have and all. Right. So I do share all those experiences with you as well, so that we can also add that experience. Understand how really things will be taking place here. And illustrations will be there for you. So each and every illustration or experiences, everything will be for real world, IT world. And also I'll be sharing with you the tips and tricks required to survive as a BA. Or otherwise, like, I'll be giving you hints on where you might get trapped in spite of your good work. Still, how you motivated. So, how to be cautious about them. In a way, how can we survive a little bit longer as a BA in spite of the competition? All this stuff we'll be discussing. And also, it's a change is mandatory. It's not mandatory that you'll be working with only one always, only one domain always. It will not be that way. So, we need to understand that change is constant. Here comes the point is how to accommodate yourself quickly in changing environment, this dynamic environment. Okay, so that's equally important to understand. So I'll be giving you hints on how to quickly adjust yourself to new environment and then try to accommodate yourself there, feel comfortable, and then start delivering the results. All these will be part and part of training only. It's not like separate sessions for all this stuff. So as and when situation is there, I'll be teaching you all these aspects as well, so that you can be sure about what you are learning and then how you are surviving. So this is the validation I'm going to get for you. And then approach wise, the typical approach I'm bringing here is resembling the real-time environment. There'll be balance between theory and practical, because you can't learn everything through practicals alone. You can't learn everything through theory alone. The balance is equally important. You should be able to learn and then be able to implement to realize how much you understood actually and where we are not understanding. So opportunity should be given that way. So that will be given to you properly. And also, I'm resembling the real world environment, work environment. So when you join a job, initial stages will be kind of a settled down period, honeymoon period kind of thing for you. So you'll not have much work. You'll be asked to understand the situation, what is going on, be calm for maybe a couple of weeks. Afterwards, they'll start asking you to take up the things. And further, they'll ask you to own few things, ask you to work more. And further, you'll be dumped with a lot of work where you are supposed to plan and then finish it off. You'll be completely involved in the work, in the job. Same situation, same environment. I'm trying to repeat here as well, simulate here. So initial sessions will not have many things to practice by yourself. There'll be very few. Just you have to get used to the environment and terminology, how you are going to learn everything. Over a period of time, that means after few sessions, you'll have few things to consider. Right? We'll be practicing here in the classroom. After that, also I'll be asking you to do a few other things. It continues like that. Post that, we'll have case study where you are supposed to work on few learnings that we have learned by then. And afterwards, we'll have another case study as well, along with that, whatever we are learning. So both the case studies will have to be handled together. So in that way, you'll have lot many things to practice where you are supposed to plan and then complete your activities. Right? So called assignments. Right? So in this way, I'm simulating the real environment as well so that you can realize how can you plan. Okay, when there is a lot of work, you need to take out some time and then how quickly you can complete it. So that kind of planning opportunity also you'll be getting it so that you can feel that though you might not be having experience, you can simulate and then feel that, okay, I got this kind of experience here. Right? And then the training that we are going to learn the subject. So I'll keep on updating the syllabus. It's not the same one which I taught approximately 3-4 months before also. Because I'm keep on observing, I'm keep on studying what is changing, what is requirement and what is required in the market. So according to that, I'm updating my syllabus also. It's not 14 years ago what I learned, right? So as per the market trend, I'm just updating my syllabus as well. So that's the reason I'm presenting it at high level so that if needed, I can include few more topics as well as a part of this one. I can remove a couple of them if not required. So you'll not be learning the things which are all not required. You'll be learning only ones that are required for you. I've been helping the people on proxy interviews as well. So I have taken a lot of interviews. People also have got selected smoothly. Happily, they are working now. So I know the pulse of the interviewers also what they are going to ask you or which subjects they're expecting. In spite of publishing a very detailed job description, the area where they are actually focusing that is more on Scrum and Agile. Right? So my syllabus, the training content, whatever we are going to learn, everything has been tailored according to that. So needless to worry much about it. You can just learn properly. If you learn properly, you should be able to get selected in the job also. Right? Only thing is you have to learn and practice. So that's how it would be. Examples will be there for you people who might have IT experience and who doesn't have any IT background, and also might be experienced employee who might be working already or who might have taken a gap break in between, or otherwise you might be new job aspirant. So everyone will get opportunities to understand the subject in their own way. Right? I'll be giving you a lot of examples to ensure that you are understanding it properly. I'll keep on involving you as well. So it's your responsibility to be available, and then be active and attentive and participate in the sessions as well actively. All right. So any questions you have so far?
No.
No, I'm fine.
I don't
Yep.
have any questions so far, so.
All right.
Hello.
All right, guys. So this is about the syllabus that we are going to learn here. Right. Now let us try to understand some of the fundamental concepts of business analysis. So what is a business analysis? Can you please give me an idea? From your understanding point of view, don't worry about proper definitions as such. Just share your knowledge, whatever you know. Might be wrong. Let us learn from mistakes. Don't worry, don't hesitate. There are no marks. Okay?
I think business analysis is something that you need to understand business first of all. Then you kind of like identify problems and come up with the solutions to the business challenges.
Right. What else? What else? All right. So business analysis, what we do here is, for example, if I want to start a business, and let's assume you people are the business analysts. Then I approached you guys asking for some suggestion, which business I can start with. Now you after, so for example, if I approach you to asking you, okay, can you please suggest me something? What are all the different things would you like to understand from me? Before you could say something about it. Would you like to ask me some questions?
I didn't understand what you said.
I want to start a business.
Okay.
Let's assume I want to start a business and you people are the business analysts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking you, can you please suggest something which business will be suitable for me?
Like,
So
any.
would you like to ask me any questions before you could suggest me something?
So are you asking what is the first step as a business analyst when someone approaches you and asks for suggestion for their business?
I'm giving you a direct scenario. I'm asking you, I want to start a business, you suggest me something. Do you have before you could make any recommendation to me? I want to start a business. Can you please
Okay.
help me out? Which business would be suitable for me?
Like we have to brainstorm, like what you need, like what you
Do it now.
interested.
Do it now. Please do it. What would you like to ask? What would you
Like
like to understand from me?
like first of all, what's your like budget?
Okay. What
Yeah,
else?
I think we need to gather like information and ideas from the person who wants to do business, because without having that information, we don't know what that person is looking for and what kind of business that's gonna fit within that person.
Correct. So I'm the person who want to start. Please check with me which information you want. What exactly you would like to understand from me?
Mm,
I mean, just saying I want business, that's so broad, we don't know exactly what kind of business that person wants.
Okay. Which type of business I'm interested in? Is
yep.
that what you want to understand? What else? So one is budget. Second one is which type of business I'm interested in.
Like we
What else?
can say time.
Okay, time. What
And
else?
like resources.
Resources. Okay. What else?
Um, I don't know. The only thing I could think is was resources and time, budget, like plan.
Right. Anything else, Christina? All right. Suppose you asked me those kind of questions, which I'm interested in. What is my budget? What are the timelines? Who are all there for you to help you in business and resources, etc. And finally, you asked me to start offline store. Not just store, okay, shop. You recommended me to start a shop. I started it. Let's assume I have started it.
Mm-hmm.
1 year is over. So on first anniversary of the business, I invited you guys again, and we are discussing further what can be done. Again, you asked me a few questions, and then again told, okay, why can't you start online business going forward? And again it continues. Okay, 1 more year, and year on year it continues. So let's
Mm-hmm.
not worry about the remaining years. Now what is happening? Currently, I don't have anything with me. Then you recommended me to start the offline store. So I have something with me now, right? After that, you asked me to start online business as well. So I have something more with me. I have something more with me. So if I say 0, 1 and something, so 0 to plus, plus to double plus, 0 to something, something to something more. What is this called? What is happening here?
I don't know, value.
Change, right? There is a change. I didn't have anything. I have one business. I have one business. Now I'm having two businesses. There is a change, correct?
Yeah.
How that has change has come? First, you people asked me a few questions, and according to that, you recommended a solution.
Mm-hmm.
With which, me being the business owner, I'm happy. People who are all purchasing products from me, they're also happy. You being business analyst, of course, because you have recommended, I'll also be rewarding you, so you're also happy. And my employees who might be working for my business, they're also happy because they're getting salary regularly. So all the people related to this particular business, who are all related to this particular business, all are happy, right?
I don't understand.
This is, yeah, I have started my business, right?
Okay.
So me being business owner, I am earning some money,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll be happy.
Yeah.
My purpose is solved. My purpose is served because I wanted to start a business.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to start that, I have started it, I'm able to earn some money, correct?
Mm-hmm.
People are getting opportunity to buy products from my store. So they have got availability of the products. So they are
Okay.
purchasing, they are using it. So they are also happy,
Yep.
right? Employees who are all working for the business, they are also happy because I'll be paying them the salaries and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So all are related to this particular project, particular business. All are happy now. Various reasons, their own reasons, right?
Okay.
All are stakeholders. We all are stakeholders of the business. Now, how can we define this business analysis is practice of enabling the change in an enterprise by defining needs, recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. The so-called happiness, what I was referring to, that is nothing but value to the people related to the project. That is people related to the business, nothing but the stakeholders. So first what you have done is you brought that change, zero to something, something to something more. You have enabled that change, right? How did you do that? You defined the needs. First, you understood what I would like to achieve, what sort of things I would like to have with me, what do I have with me, what are all my targets, ambitions, maybe. You understood all of them. Then recommended the solution. That's when you suggested me something, offline store or online store, whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
With that, stakeholders are happy. Their own reasons. They have their own reasons to be happy, to be satisfied. Value addition to stakeholder. So this entire activity that you did just now, very small level, small scale, is known as business analysis. Enabling the change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Is this clear?
Yep.
Now, let me tell you, let me give you another simple example because it looks like, I feel it's very confusing for you, right? Trying to understand, but it's not understandable. It looks like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a very simple example. Your friend, one of your friend, calls you or reaches you out, and they say that they are in trouble. They have some difficulty. What would you do?
Like, ask for like what kind of difficulty he's having.
Right? You ask what type of difficulty is that, and then what you do?
Give solution.
Give some solution.
Mm-hmm.
By that solution, what happens to your friend with your solution?
Like if
What
it's like
happens?
it's up to them if they want to like proceed further or no.
Yeah, let's assume they have taken your whatever the suggestion you have given or whatever help you have done. They accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
With that, what happens? What will be the end result?
They will like go with the like go like what the solution we have provided.
Yep. Then what happens with that?
Solve the problem.
Solve the problem. If you solve that problem, they'll be happy.
Yeah.
They'll be relieved of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are doing here. We are understanding the problem, defining the needs, and then you're helping them. Okay, this is what you are supposed to do, recommending the solution. With that, your friend is out of the problem. Value, adding value to the stakeholder. Got it?
Yep.
We are understanding the problem. Accordingly, we are recommending a solution which is helping the person who is involved in the situation. Is this clear?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So, business analysis concept itself is more related with personal life. Almost 90 to 95% of the concepts can be related with our normal life, how we are living already, how we have been living. So, more or less everything will be the same. Major difference will be we have been applying most of the concepts to our personal life so far. Going forward as a BA, professional BA, you are supposed to apply the same thing to external people, external businesses. Right. So it will be very easy to learn. So you can say, take it for granted that already you people are BAs in a way. You are business analysts for yourself. Already you have been doing similar activities for your life, in your life. Right? Either for yourself or for others in life, in normal life, we have been doing most of the concepts related to business analysis. I'll be giving you the relation. I'll be correlating them and I'll be keep on giving you the examples. I'll refer them so that if you are new to the subject, needless to worry much about it, you take it for granted that already you have BA in you, right? Already business analyst is there with you. Only thing required is just kind of a professional touch-up. We have been applying it for ourselves. There is no issue because it's a you, so you can manage yourself. Now going forward, we are supposed to apply to external business, so we need to consider few other things. Right? That's all we need to learn here. So business analysis will be as simple as that. Okay. And by the way, this definition has been recommended by IIBA, International Institute of Business Analysis, started in 2004, October, somewhere nearby when I started my career as well, 2004, October. And then gradually they have started coming up with the recommendations and setting up the standards for the practices of a business analyst activities, maybe various activities. And now they are also planning to migrate themselves to Agile and Scrum environments. Still not happened. So waterfall model was the most of the times they had given stress so many years. Now they are also trying to adapt the agile environment. The transition hasn't happened completely. Still it is in progress. Right. So this is one of the standard institute that has recommended most of the business analyst practices. We'll be referring to these practices as well because they're all standard practices, so that we can also be learning something which is for high quality in our trainings. All right. This is about business analysis definition, how we define it. So simply speaking, whenever there is an issue, first understand that issue. According to that, you recommend a solution. If you are recommending solution implies that that should solve the problem of the opposite person. Right. That's what the business analysis is all about. Right?
Yep.
Any questions here?
No.
No.
All right. Now let's try to understand what is the role of business analyst from that perspective. So understanding enterprise problems and goals. That means for a business, there will be different various problems and they might want to achieve different goals. We need to understand them. Analyzing needs and solutions. What are all various needs they have? What are all the different solutions that can be adopted? Devising the strategies, how to bring the changes or how to introduce the solutions. You need to plan for them, when to start, when to close, when to end and all. And driving the change, being there to help the people in bringing the change, so that in following that change, so that they can realize the value addition, and facilitating the stakeholder collaboration. So different people will be there who will be working associated with the particular project. Then you are supposed to ensure that whenever the collaboration means coming together for a purpose. We are collaborating here for training purpose. We are collaborating for training. Right? Similarly, you might be the different stakeholders might be collaborating for different purposes. So you have to ensure that various stakeholders are collaborating properly as required. So these will be the primary activities that you are supposed to do. And again, how to do, what to do exactly, all those things will vary from methodology to methodology. So those things we are going to learn from IT perspective, from a software perspective. Right? So we analyze the needs and then understand that this kind of software will be an appropriate solution. Then we'll come up with the strategies. When should we start requirement elicitation? When should we complete the design analysis? When should we start the development? Which functionality needs to be developed? Everything. We'll devise the strategies there, and we'll be there to ensure that the changes are brought in properly. That means the software is getting developed properly. And whenever it is required, we'll be involving every stakeholder so that they can be part of the project and then contributing from their perspectives. Okay, so all these are all the activities that we'll be doing. Here specifically, the solution is software. Okay? From IT business analysis perspective, the solution would be software. So a company who is looking for a software for a particular purpose, that's what it is going to be. Right? Now, any questions?
No, I don't.
Then what are the typical job titles that you have with respect to business analysis? All these job titles, more or less 80% overlaps with general business analysis. Okay, that means understanding the needs as we understood already. So understanding the needs and then what sort of solutions might be appropriate for them. You need to do that kind of activity, which will be overlapping around 75% to 80% with all these roles. Remaining 20 to 30% or 25 to 30%, whatever is there, that will be kind of a specialization you need to learn. For example, you want to become data analyst. Data analyst is also supposed to understand the needs, is also supposed to analyze the solutions, is also supposed to devise the strategies and do everything, but he'll be working more on data aspects. Okay, he'll not be developing the software, but he'll be looking into the data, analyzing it, and according to that, he'll propose the solutions also. That's the specialization you need to acquire there. All right. Process analyst. Process analyst also understands what is the challenge, what is the proposed solution, what sort of solution will help them and all. But orientation will be towards the processes. How to create a process, how to improve it so that it can help the business. When should we start changing the processes? By when we should end it? So everything will be from that perspective. Right? We will be learning more about the product owner related aspects. Product owner is one of the roles in Scrum, which will also have overlapping with business analyst activities. So we'll learn that both business analyst activities and the syllabus that we have seen, most of them are covered under product owner role. Once you get a job, you might play this role as well. Right? You might be offered a product owner role, or otherwise you might be acting as a business analyst only. Business analysis analyst is a kind of designation we can consider. Product owner is a role in general. It can be played by anyone. Here also the same concept. As I asked you, if I want to start a business, then what are all the things you would like to understand? Similarly, if somebody is looking for a software, what are all the requirements they have? Then we are supposed to understand them and be there to implement those changes.
Yep.
That's how it's going to be. Right? Like this, you have different job titles. This is a kind of base course that you should be learning. You should be knowing all this stuff with respect to business analyst. And then little bit orientation is more towards product owner role. And remaining parts, if you would like to get into any of these, you need to learn, you need to bridge that 25 to 30% specialization portion. You need to learn it separately. That will not be covered here. Those specializations will not be covered here, except for product owner role. Right?
Yep.
Remaining data analysis wise, you need to learn some coding. Those things you need to take care of. That again depends on your interest, where you would like to go get into exactly. Right? Otherwise, 80% of overlapping will be there with these particular job titles. So remaining 20 is what you need to bridge. Now, any questions you have?
Nope.
No.
Perfect. Now let's try to understand what are all the competencies you should possess in order to become good business analyst, not just business analyst, to become good business analyst. Few are mandatory here, few are optional. Business analyst, or if you want to become business analyst, few are mandatory, few are optional. Job role might define them differently. Company to company, how they are describing business analyst role might differ, but to become general business analyst as such, so some of the traits are important, some of the traits are optional for you. First and foremost mandatory thing you should possess is personality and attitude related one. That is, you should be a good and fast learner. What is this good learner means? You should know what you are supposed to learn. Depending on the situation, in which environment you are in under which circumstances you are in, you should know what you are supposed to learn. Because learning is endless. Subjects are oceans. You can never complete them. It might be anything for that matter. Any domain, any subject, including this business analysis subject. Though we might be covering it up in few weeks. To be honest, this is a very vast subject. I have been learning. 14 years is over. Still I have been learning. Many new things are there. Still new things are evolving. So it's not so easy to wrap up any subject in such a short span. It's very important for us to understand what we need to learn. That's what I refer it as good learning. Right? You have to understand. And in this situation, what is that you are supposed to learn? You should not open the textbook, keep on reading every page. Not required. Go to the section that is needed for you and learn quickly. Should not take a lot of time to learn it. Good and fast learning. You have to understand what you need to learn and you learn it quickly. This is required because change is constant here. Change, there will be always a change. Then something, some or other thing will be changing. So change is constant. Only thing required is you have to acquire few qualities like learning quickly, adapt it. So just practice how to learn quickly. Practice from your perspective. Okay. Be prepared for it. Okay, it's learning is continuous activity, continual activity. It will be there for lifelong. As long as you are a BA, learning will always be there. Not only for BA role, for that matter, any role is requiring learning, constant learning. Right? Same is the case here. But it is more prominent here. It's very important here to have that trait. Then, critical thinking and analytical thinking. So, what is critical thinking? Any idea? What is critical thinking? Hello.
Critical thinking, I think something you're not biased, like objective. I'm not quite sure if that is something.
Yeah. What do you think, others?
Like critical think is like you can say like solving like something like
Okay, so typically critical thinking would be you'll have very minimum information with you and you're supposed to think further. You'll have very less information. For example, the project has started just now. Business also doesn't know. Business, client, customer, all these are all interchangeably usable. So all these things mean the same. Person who is looking for a software. Okay. So business doesn't have any idea what sort of software will be helpful for them, or they don't know which are all the features they are supposed to request you so that you can help them to get them developed. So you'll have minimum information, least information with you. You're supposed to proceed further. How you proceed? What are all the factors you consider there? That's the critical thinking aspect. You have minimum information with you and you are supposed to think on that and then take it forward. That is a critical thinking. Now, you can again apply it for solving a problem or you want to plan something. That's a different thing. But you'll have very least information, very less information with you. That's what the critical thinking aspect is.
Okay.
Okay.
Analytical thinking. What is analytical thinking?
Trying to solve with like minimal information. I don't know.
In analytical thinking, you will be having a lot of information. You are supposed to kind of derive a conclusion or maybe draw a trend, how it is. Analyze and then move, take it forward. When can you analyze? If you have some information with you, you can analyze it. So when you have a lot of information with you, for example, project is already going on, you joined in between. So you have to quickly understand how many things have been developed already, which things you need to consider next. You should be able to quickly sail through it. Right? Analytical thinking. When you have a lot of information, you are supposed to analyze them and then take it forward.
Mm-hmm.
So these two abilities will be required because we don't know whether you'll be joining a project from the scratch or you might be joining a project which is already going on.
Yep.
So that's why this kind of thinking capabilities are required. So how can we practice these? Go through online puzzles or something. Okay? Google, find out all the puzzles required to or related to critical analytical thinking abilities and practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? No harm in it. If you, even though you don't apply, it sharpens your brain also. Okay, so we'll be becoming more active. Right?
Yep.
So just brush it upon those lines. Good learning and fast learning, critical thinking and analytical thinking abilities. Mandatory to have as a BA. And communication. So what do you mean by communication in general?
It's communication.
Communicate. We'll be saying, right? Communicate.
Hmm?
What do you mean by that?
I think sharing ideas or resources, it could be anything, but I think the point of communication is to share their ideas.
Okay. So typically communication, how it happens, there'll be two parties involved in general, right?
Yep.
Sender and receiver. Sender will be sending the information to receiver and receiver is supposed to receive it as it is, right? So it's sender's responsibility to ensure that receiver has received it in the same way as he wanted him to receive. That means whatever you are sending as a package, for example, you sent me a package, parcel. Once I receive that package, I am supposed to acknowledge you that I have received it. Then you are supposed to confirm with me if I have received that package intact or has it broken
Mm-hmm.
or how was it. That's your responsibility to ensure that I have received that package as it is. That means when I am saying something to you, first of all, you have to acknowledge that, okay, you have understood, you have that message has reached to you. Now I have to ensure that you have received something, what exactly I have delivered it. So whatever I am saying, you should be able to understand in the same way as I wanted you to understand. That means there should not be any discrepancy in understanding. Okay, that's what the communication is about. When I'm saying something, this thing, what is communication? First of all, you have to acknowledge that you got that matter. Then I'll be checking with you if you have understood it rightly or not, correctly or not. Okay? That's what the communication is about. Here, you can do it in two ways. One is verbal, another one is written. So there'll be occasions where we'll be explaining something to the people or when you will be discussing something with the people. So you have to ensure that whatever you are saying, it is very clear for them and they have understood in the same way as you wanted them to understand. Right? It should not be otherwise. So you have to ensure that. And there'll be many occasions where you might also get pissed off. You might also get frustrated because of the people behavior or maybe because of the target, whatever you are supposed to achieve. So you'll be also under some kind of pressure sometimes. You might not be in a good mood, right? All are human beings, a natural thing to happen. So you might also get frustrated. Then you should have some control over your verbal communication. You can't shout at them. You can't shout at the people. You can't use abusive words. You have to have that control. Right? That's also equally. At the same time, you are supposed to raise your concern also. The person might be irritating you. You can't scold him directly, but you have to inform him that you are getting frustrated because of his behavior. You are feeling inconvenient because of his behavior. How to do that? You should have that skill. Verbal communication. Same goes with written communication. When you are writing something, when you are preparing a document, it should not confuse the reader. Should be in a proper, organized manner. The presentation should be very organized, systematic, so that anybody who is reading through the document, they should be able to relate everything and understand clearly. It should not be like a big puzzle, jigsaw puzzle, bits and pieces. They're supposed to combine everything to get the picture. Should not be that way. So documentation, you have to document it very nicely, maintaining the uniformity in the documentation, then considering different sections and everything properly organized. And whatever the content you have written there should be easily understandable. You might be very good at some language. Okay, making it too professional or too complicated, where people are unable to understand everything, even though you might be using English. For every word, I need to refer to dictionary because you might have used such kind of words which I can't understand just like that with normal human brain. Might not that doesn't help anyone. You have to use simple language which can help everyone, and at the same time, you have to make it very professional, right? So communication is essential here. Should have good communication skills. Again, if you want to just sharpen up, brush up these things, just go through online sessions anywhere, read through them. What are all the good options for you to do verbal communication, written communication, how to improve? Google them and then just brush it up because I believe we are matured enough to handle all these elements. Only thing required is might be a few small corrections here and there. Apart from that, we'll be having enough knowledge with us. Right? Any questions so far? Personality and communication related aspects.
No?
Nope.
Right? Then domain knowledge. Domain knowledge, it's not mandatory, but it's very good to have. If you have some knowledge about any particular domain, any particular okay, that will help a lot because it's like learning first language in life. Once you have learned a language, you'll have that skill. You'll know how to learn the language, another language. So it will not be so difficult for you to learn another language because already have some acquaintance with learning a language. Similarly, if you have knowledge about one particular domain, any domain in the sense business, maybe retail, maybe banking, insurance, whatever it might be. If you have some knowledge, that will help you. If you don't have, because you have good and fast learning ability, once you get onto the job, you should be able to acquire that knowledge soon. Should not be a problem. That's the reason you should have good and fast learning ability as well. So, if you already have any background with respect to any business, any domain, that's very good. If you don't have, still nothing to worry. You can acquire it very quickly once you get onto the job because of your good and fast learning ability, right? Then, database knowledge. In the sense, there are technical and non-technical aspects here. Technical aspect is your SQL language, SQL queries. Have you heard about that, SQL?
Yep.
Yep. So that's a technical thing, which is not mandatory as such to become business analyst. But domain modeling, that is required. That will be learning anyway. So database knowledge wise, domain modeling or the requirement modeling, data modeling is required. That is mandatory to learn. Whereas SQL, which is a technical side of it, that's not mandatory. But if you have learned it, or if you want to learn, that's recommended. Okay, it's recommended to learn that. But that's not a mandatory thing for a business analyst. Right? Then other technical skills that you might be helping you. Mandatorily, you should have good understanding about MS Office kind of a package where you should be knowing how to document using kind of a Word document, Word tool, and should be having understanding how to create PowerPoint presentations. You should have understanding about how to use Excel. So you might go with MS Office or you might be familiar with Open Office, but having acquaintance with these kind of tools is essential because we'll be frequently using them only for our documentation purposes. So you should have good knowledge, not expert level. Beginner to intermediate level is sufficient. Okay. So again, you can just explore further online. Try to find out a small course where it can give you some introduction about this MS Office, how to create mails, how to schedule them, how to prepare invites, meeting invites. Meeting invite is one of the major things that we'll be using very frequently. So you should know how to set a meeting, how to send an invite, how to add reminders, right? Those kind of things is required. How to document in Word, how to document in Excel, how to prepare the presentations. Not very advanced level, at least basic presentation skills should be having, right? So practice that little bit on the brush it up. If you are already familiar and not using so far, brush it up. That should be enough. Now comes your programming language skills and again architecture related knowledge. So these are all good to have again. It's like environmental wise, it will be convenient. You feel comfortable when you are talking with your team members. Otherwise, it might be like Greek and Latin for you. When they are discussing something about technology, you might feel frustrated, you might feel irritated, you might feel like, okay, I should move from here. You might feel suffocated there because you can't understand what they are speaking. It doesn't make any sense when people are there and you are supposed to be there with them. It doesn't make sense if you don't understand that and if you get irritated. So in order to avoid that, so understanding a little bit about programming language, the terms which they are using, and understanding a little bit about architecture, the terms that they are using, all these things will leave you in a comfort zone. Okay? It will leave you in a comfort zone. Also, team will also start including you in other discussions also. You can gain their trust easily and you can build the rapport quickly. Without that also you can do. You can achieve the confidence of the team members. You can build the rapport well. But this might expedite it. It might speed it up. Okay? So gaining some knowledge about programming language and architecture, that's optional, but again recommended. If you can just browse through fundamentals of programming or fundamentals of software architecture. Okay, just do that. Go through, get used to the terms that they are using frequently, which will leave you in a comfort zone once you are joining a particular team. Okay. So technical skills wise, MS Office kind of a package is mandatory to learn up to intermediate level usage. Basics of programming language and basics of architecture, all these are all optional again. If you want to learn, you can learn it. Otherwise, also perfectly fine. To become business analyst, it's not mandatory for you to have knowledge about programming language or architecture. If you have all of these together, then you can become a good business analyst. You'll have edge over others. That's the only difference. But I believe you can get soon all this knowledge and you can become good business analyst because basically you'll be having good and fast learning abilities. As long as you have that learning ability, you can easily cope up everywhere. Should not be a problem. Right? Once you are with a particular project, then automatically you'll keep on enhancing your knowledge and you'll keep on reinforcing the skills that you have already. So over a period of time, you'll settle down there without any issue. So these are all kind of teething problems for you. People who haven't worked it till now, who are new to business analysis and the job, IT job. So these are all kind of initial hurdles for you, which you need to overcome. And over a period of time, you'll become good business analyst. Without these also, the optional values which I have mentioned, like the functional knowledge or basics of programming language, basics of architecture, basics of SQL queries. Without them also, you can become a business analyst. Don't worry about it. Right? Any questions you have?
Nope.
No.
All right. All right, guys. So this is for the day. So we'll pause it here and then we'll catch up tomorrow and then start learning about many other things as well. Before we could close, I just want to check with you. Were you able to follow easily? Is it okay? Am I okay with the pace and everything? Speed wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are, these trainings are meant for you, so you are supposed to learn. So whenever you uncomfortable, if you are not getting anything, the subject might be tough for you sometimes. Kindly ask me again. I am ready to explain you multiple times. That's not a problem. I can give you different examples, different styles of examples, so that you should be able to understand it. So feel free to stop me, pause me whenever you have any questions. In general, once a topic logical conclusion, I'll be checking with you. If you have any questions, then utilize that opportunity to ask your questions so that I can clarify and we can proceed further. People without understanding and I'm just proceeding like that, that doesn't make any sense, right? So you are supposed to be clear with the concepts that we are learning and feel confident about them, right? That's what my intention is. So whenever you have any questions, kindly feel free to pause me and then ask me for clarifications. And again, and you'll be getting my mail ID and contact number as well, WhatsApp number as well. Feel free to reach me out at any point of time whenever you have any questions, so that you should be able to learn and move forward, right?
Yep.
Will you have a nice session here today? And then again tomorrow we'll catch up and then continue further.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
If you don't have anything, we can close. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.